Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much." This is the Producers Lounge podcast, the best podcast online for tips and tricks on producing great film, television, and web content. Welcome back for Season 2, Episode 22, hosted and produced by GreaterAndGrander.com. On this week's episode, we're chatting with Michael Coscia, who has produced independent shorts and also worked as a production coordinator on studio and independent feature films, including Ad Astra by Brad Pitt and Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales with Johnny Depp. We discuss networking at film festivals and how to act on a major feature film set and how to avoid getting taken advantage of. If you have any questions or suggestions as you're listening, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the episode comments. Here now, with sultry sounds of jazz and samba in the background, is my conversation with Michael Coscia.
I took notes, brought notes.
Oh, good.
I didn't know what you were exactly looking for in this.
Sure, honestly, it's mainly like educational.
Oh, okay. No, one of the things I've learned, the biggest lesson that most people don't know is networking.
Yes.
I wrote and produced a short film during COVID.
Yes.
And I got into some festivals.
Nice.
And one of them was in Arizona, my first one. And so I decided I was going to network my way through the festival.
Nice.
I assumed everybody did that.
Yeah.
So what I did was I looked up every filmmaker that was going to be in the festival on LinkedIn, and I sent them a notice going, "Hey, I'm going to be at the Sholo Film Festival in Arizona. Are you? I hear you are. I'm looking forward to seeing your film." Some people from around the world did respond and say, I'm not going to be there, whatever. And then one man from New York said, yes, I'm going to be there. Let's hook up there and meet.
Right.
And then a few other people never responded, and others said, yeah, I'm going to be there, but they never, And the day of the opening day of the festival, I get this text from this man saying, his name's Rishi. Are you at the such and such room? I said, I am, because I'm the only brown guy in the room. and I went, and I was like, there he is. And it was really fun. And we've become good friends.
Oh, good.
And his producing partner just, which I got to know there and have kept in contact with, is started a film festival that's this weekend in New York, 40 miles outside of New York. And I was a juror on it.
Oh, nice.
So it's that whole, when you learn how to network and you do it, it leads to something else. And I watched 31 short films in the last week and a half.
Wow.
It's for people, it's for the undeveloped market, of filmmakers. That's the point of the festival.
Now, by undeveloped, you mean
underserved.
Underserved.
Underserved. Yeah. And so, but it's, who are underrepresented in the film business.
Right.
So some of them were late teenagers, and the festival, they did their shorts on their iPhones.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Some of them. Amazing what some people accomplished on an iPhone 13, obviously.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me. I was in awe. And I'm curious, tonight's their award thing, and I'm curious to know which ones of my favorites are ended up getting awards that the other jurors have, picked. But it was really fascinating, and you don't realize there's so many stories out there, and some of them told so well. So.
Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome. Actually, it's funny you bring that up. I was a juror on a festival in Arizona, actually.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, it was the Arizona Shorts Film Festival.
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
Yes. And I was the judge I was the only judge on the nonfiction category, nonfiction shorts.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't pursue that because I had gotten to the Sholo one, which is 3 hours north of Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
It's a great little spot, and I ended up winning 2 awards there, so I was extra happy.
Nice.
But it was I drove out, and it's really funny, a lot of filmmakers from LA drove out. We were probably all behind each other on the road. Yeah. And if we had thought about it, we could have just rented a van and all come together, because it's a 10-hour ride.
Oh, wow.
But
you like something to drink? I already asked her. A water?
Yeah.
Do you want? What do you want to drink?
A water. That's all I wanted. So, So it was, but that was a big lesson. And the people that I met said, "Oh, I linked in with you. I did that." They didn't know how to respond.
Oh,
It's really interesting. People don't realize that networking is so important. And it's not just meeting someone and saying, "Here's my card. What can you do for me?" It's creating a
support network.
A support network. And this guy Rishi and this guy Alex now, I'm in constant contact with, and someday we'll work together on something. And we all decided that would have been, we just clicked. And their big concerns were also that a woman who had her short film before mine in the schedule, I started talking to. And then she goes, "I'm really not one to be networking. I just don't know how to do it, so I just don't do it."
Yeah.
And I was talking to her, and I was like, "Well, here's your moment to say, this is what I'm doing."
Right.
And I waited and I waited, and then finally I just said, "Good luck, thank you." Which is interesting, isn't it?
It is, and networking really is a difficult art form. Like I found, like I've always been a ferocious networker.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Because you know what? I can tell you exactly when you and I met. December 5th, 2013.
Oh, that's...
At the PGA. At the coordinators meeting.
Because I always send follow-up emails saying it was great meeting you last night. Such and such.
Yeah, and I always, and that's when you went into my address thing, and I always put when I met them and how I met them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I always put something about the conversation, so I'm always aware of that.
Yeah. And actually it's funny because what I found is that I prefer to send out those emails because I found if I give an artist or a filmmaker my card, I would never hear from them. No.
Very few.
Yeah.
Very few, and I'm like, and when you say to someone, "Do you have a card?" I forgot them. It's like, how did you forget them? You're going to an event. Tell me how you forgot that, But, and networking, I've done some good networking at the Produce By conference.
Yes.
I actually met a director there who is attached to one of my projects, a BAFTA nominee.
That's fantastic.
It was the few years back at Paramount, the one that was at Paramount.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I got there really early. And he got there really early, and they hadn't opened up the will call yet.
Right.
So I was standing there, and he said, "Well, we might as well introduce ourselves," and we did. And all day, you know how big it is there.
Oh yeah, I worked at Paramount. So yeah.
And we kept on running into each other, and finally he said, we should meet up afterwards at the cocktail party and talk. I said, "Sure." And about 3 or 4 days later, we were doing that email.
Yeah.
And he said, "What do you work? Can I read the project?" And I was like, "Sure." And I sent it. He wrote back about a week later, and I want to direct it. And come to mind, he's a BAFTA nominee, and he had his first film at Sundance, so he's still attached.
Wow.
So I mean, it's that little bit of just networking, and I didn't expect anything from him when I met. I just kind of, and I think that's a big thing that people need to learn.
Yeah, because if you do just the littlest bit of effort, you already set yourself above 50% of the feedback.
Yeah, I always, why do you go to these things if you're not going to meet people?
Yeah.
I mean, but I have to say this, years ago, there was a thing called the Film Industry Network, which was a networking group that I was president of the board of directors for a year. It was back in the early aughts.
Yeah.
And my big observation was we'd do it once a month at Sony. We'd have a speaker, we'd have networking. And I was involved with them for 4 years. And the first year I met people who were always coming. I was on the board, I was president, I left. And there was the same people coming.
Right.
And I'd say, haven't you learned the lesson yet? Why do you keep coming and not taking it to the next level for yourself? Right. And then I realized there were things as I call them, event junkies.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? They love to go, but they never, and they always have a project they're going to work on.
Right.
But 3 years later, they're not networking. It's interesting. I think it's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you want it or don't you, kind of thing. Very interesting to me.
It is difficult.
Well, let's face it, business is full of wackadoodles, and
Yes.
I mean, showing names.
Feel free.
But you meet some of the most incredible people. You really do.
Yeah.
Like meeting this director, and then you meet some of the people that are just, what spacecraft do they get off of,
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to distinguish between the two,
Exactly.
not to belittle anyone, but that's. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's funny because some of them start revealing their wackadoodleness after their success. Like I interned for this one woman. I won't name names, but she produced a major franchise.
Okay.
And then after that, she quit and went to work for a nonprofit in Africa. And she just kind of went off the deep end at that point. And now that she's back in the States, she's gone down the QAnon rabbit hole.
Oh God.
Yeah, so she's like thinking, oh, the Democrats are pedophiles. I'm trying to root Nancy Pelosi and all of this stuff.
Yeah, they. I had a production manager. I did a show in Philly.
Yeah.
And then I came back and they called me in for the reshoots. And the production manager woman or whatever, I had worked with her before, and I had worked 9 days in a row, like 15-hour days. So when I put in my time card, I put in 9 days. She refused to pay me for 9 days unless I put that I had 2 days off, because I would have gotten the overtime. And she threatened me and said, I would make sure you'll never work again if you don't do this. And I was too stupid.
Right.
And I was too new,
Right.
and and the other person who was coordinating, I was one of the coordinators,
Right.
quickly changed the time card to please. And I almost called the union on her. And my biggest regret is I didn't.
Right.
Because, we know coordinators are the most underappreciated, overworked position. I think anyone who's listening to this needs to adore their coordinators. I mean, it's amazing,
Now let me ask, because I heard this a long time ago. I don't know if that's changed. What are you interested in having?
Oh, anything.
I heard about this a long time ago. I don't know if it's changed. If you're a coordinator or an APOC in the union, is there still no minimum?
No minimum.
Oh.
I walked away from it.
Yeah.
Just when I had done my last film, just before COVID hit.
Right.
And I hated it.
Oh.
It was just one of those where everything was just awful.
Oh.
And I'll never forget at the end, my boss came up to me and said, "We're going to give you a week's bonus."
Oh, good.
And I was like, I fought for my assistant coordinator to get one, and I asked for my PAs, and they said, absolutely not. And then all of a sudden, she promptly left for the next 3 weeks while I wrapped the show by myself. And come to find out, she paid herself for those 3 weeks, and she gave herself a week's bonus.
Oh my God.
So my little week's bonus, in reality, was nothing.
I'm so sorry.
You know what? But it's the nature. Where is everything? Is everything wrapped? And she hadn't been around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but you know how it is. You've done it.
I mean, yeah, I've rapped, but also it's I've not seen instances where there was just flat out dealing under the table like that,
I've been on from $200 million budgets all the way down to 5.
Yeah, your
to
resume
2.
is very impressive.
Yeah, I got a lot of work. And some of them were the greatest experiences. I mean, I have to say.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, when you go in as an APOC or POC, no one's going to look at you to lift you up and say, you're going to be a producer for us someday.
Right.
They like you where you are, and you stay there.
Yeah.
So the only way to move up is you've got to just give it up, I think. You know what I mean? And that's what I did when COVID hit. And I ventured off into storytelling. I'm a producer for a storytelling group in Los Angeles now.
Oh, very cool. What kind of storytelling? Like
It's called Strong Words, and it website strongwordslive.com. It meets monthly in Atwater Village, and we have a musical guest, then we do 5 storytellers, and we have a pop-up art show, and then we have a bar, beer and wine, and it's all in the courtyard of a church, and Atwater Village, and the stories are all first person, true stories,
right.
no more than 1,300 words, and you have to submit in advance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're really, we have some high quality storytellers.
So it's like the Moth, but it sounds like a more engaging event with the pop-up art show.
Yeah, it's more engaging. It's really a lot of community and intimacy.
Okay.
And I started going because a friend of mine was doing a story one night. And then I just kept on going and going and going. And then they invited me to be a producer of the show.
Wow.
And we're now going to be doing a collaboration with the Autry.
The Autry?
The Autry Museum.
Oh, wow.
for an evening in September. Okay. So yeah, so it's like taking taking the knowledge of producing and branching off into other things.
Right.
And then from there, I'm working with a woman on a thing called the Museum of Safekeeping, which is a stories within a play. And we just did a showcase of it a couple of months ago, and we're going to be doing another one in November.
Okay.
So that's another thing that just kind of germinated from deciding that I wanted to just do the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of times you don't realize the opportunities that knock.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, and I'm glad you say like doing the work, because so often the politics on a film set are such bullshit.
I know they are. I know.
Now, I'm on that topic. I'm curious because you have worked on major, hundreds of millions of dollars studio sets. What, without naming any names, of course, or name names, because whoever you want under the bus. But what are some of the most kind of ridiculous experiences you've had on a major studio set?
I had I do the storytelling, and the first story I told was this particular story.
Oh.
I was on a big film, and the stress level was really high. Like I could hear one of the producers screaming through the phone from set to my boss's office, and I was in another room. And so one particular day, the stress level just got to me, and I started to stutter.
Right.
And shake. You know what I mean? It was just, I had enough, and I thought I was going to pass out.
Right.
So I go into I literally stagger to the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom, and I know I'm going to pass out.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was that I just knew I was going to pass out because I had gone beyond that point.
Right.
And I'm holding onto the sink, and I'm leaning into the sink, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna go down. Yeah. So I leaned back because I knew if I fell forward, I would smash my head on the sink.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's how it was. And then all of a sudden, as I'm leaning back, I'm like trying to breathe, and I hear in the stall the biggest fart ever. And it knocked me out of this thing, and I was so angry because it was like my moment. I was just and I remember turning around, and I was just furious. And then I leaned forward and turned on the sink, and it was able to, but it just knocked me out. And I recognized the shoes of the guy behind the stall. And I think I would love to be able to say you saved my life. But I mean, it was that serious. I mean, it really was. Because I went back and finished a 14-hour day.
Right.
Like it was in the middle of the day, and I stood there, and then I knew I had to get out of the bathroom before he came out of the stall, and I went and finished my day, and it was a pivotal moment because I really did. I mean, it was, So a fart saves my life. I mean, and that was my chair that just did that sound effect. But it was really funny. But I was on a show where we had an extra die.
Yeah.
The extra died on set.
Wait, the extra guy?
An extra.
Right.
Extra actually had a cerebral hemorrhage and died on set.
Oh my God.
I was on, oh my God, some nasty behavior that I can't even, but then some of the most fun. I mean, I spent 3 months in Hawaii on a show. I mean, think about being on Kauai for 3 months, paradise on earth. And that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
I can imagine.
And then after that, I did the next show I did was in Baton Rouge. I went from Kauai to Baton Rouge. So, yeah, I mean, just bad behavior for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, absolute bad behavior. And what I realize is a lot of times on the bigger shows, people come in thinking it's their moment. And so once they get humbled somewhere along the line, then they become bearable. And I've had, but I've met some of my greatest friends through that, But the farting story was the one that just put me over the edge that day. I can still feel it. And I thought for sure I was going to just go down.
Yeah.
But what else? I did an event one time where I, with a big celebrity, and she called in sick.
Oh, wow.
10 minutes before the event started.
Oh my God.
And I had to go to 100 people and tell them she wasn't going to be there and thank them for their donation. And everyone was kind of cool about it, I think with film, what can go wrong does go wrong.
Yeah.
And people overreact.
Yeah.
And, it becomes, I had a costumer, I think it was, on one show that were on set. She calls me at like 6:30 in the morning. I was already at the office. She was lost. And she's yelling at me, she's lost.
Oh, Jesus.
And you've got to get me to where I need to go. So I'm saying to her, well, you've got to give me a point of reference. Like, what city are you? And she wouldn't listen. And she just kept screaming at me, saying I wasn't going to help her. And so finally I said, do you see the yellow house? You got to take a left at the yellow house. I made it up. I mean, what do you do? I mean, what do you say to someone? Yeah. I mean, And then I was on one show where it's 7 a.m.
Right.
The director's assistant called and said, the director wants a pen with 4 colors.
Oh, one of those clickable.
Yeah, clickables. And he needs it now. He doesn't want to go do any work without it. I said, it's 7 a.m. And she was demanding it. And I just said, you can demand all you want. I don't have a 4-colored pen. Those are absurdities.
Yeah.
And you just look at it and say, no.
Yeah, now with things like, I don't even know how to respond to that. That's like the blue M&M story. Like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it becomes.
Yeah.
When did it become okay to be an idiot?
Right.
Film is the only business when you get a call sheet with your time, inviting you to be there at that. There's breakfast for you. There's a map. There's a map, and there are big signs telling you where to park, and people still complain about it.
Yeah.
It's like getting lost. How was I going to know where she was? I mean, give me something. Tell me I just passed the 101, and then I can say, okay.
Yeah.
But at that,
it's just like, I feel like a lot of that is just like overcompensating for actors and day players who don't know their way around.
Yeah. Well, it's an insecurity thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I mean, on my last movie, the day we were wrapping, it was in the morning, so I had the PA go to site, I said, just take off all the name tags. These trailers are going back. They've been in these trailers for the last 28 days.
Right, yeah.
One of the actresses pitched a fit and didn't want to go to work until she had her name tag on her trailer.
Oh my God.
And when they called me from set and said, Michael, that she's upset.
Yeah.
It's the last day. She knows where the trailer is. She's not that much of an idiot, is she?
Yeah.
Come to find out, she was. I had to have someone print new, because we had thrown them out.
Right.
Print new ones and put it on the door so she would know which door was hers. I mean, is that not?
Okay, so let me ask you this. You've obviously seen a lot of this type of behavior. You've been around the block. What have you done to like compensate for that and make sure that when these, like, you know the line, like a producer's job is, if you do everything right, nobody notices. So it's a lot of prep and planning. What do you do to kind of minimize those kind of ducks?
You know what? I honestly, like, I think you just have to anticipate that behavior.
Yeah.
And when you smell it or you sense it,
Yeah.
you've got to change everyone's attention span. Do you know what I mean? I just did my short film,
Right.
and we shot it in Arizona, and I went out to Arizona, and I decided that I was going to let the director do his thing, And so I ended up helping with Crafty because it needed help. I just helped when it was a non-union, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have to just anticipate that it's going to happen. Someone's going to complain. Someone, when you bring in a caterer, I was on a show that at the end of the shoot, everyone rised up and demanded they change the caterer, and it was great food, like great food. And you just have to, if there's a chance for someone to complain, you just have to anticipate. That's the only thing I can think of is just you have to anticipate it.
Right.
I mean, and some of them are just going to be wackadoodle and they're going to come out of left field.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to say no. No is a powerful word.
Yeah.
It's say to someone, no, you're not going to get that. And I think that when you tell someone no, they respect you a little more.
Right.
I was on a show where one of the producers was the yes man. And when someone would call the office and ask for something insane, I'd say, I'm sorry, it's not what we're doing. And the other producer would say, no, we're not doing it. I confer,
Right.
They would go to this other producer and he'd always say yes, always, because he wanted so badly to, I guess, be liked. And at the end of the show, we were sitting around having like a post-mortem. I was coordinating.
Yeah.
And I said the issue was everyone went to you for yes, even though we already told no, and it created real problems. And he started to argue with me, and I said to him, just stop and think about it. And he kind of stormed out. He was in a little bad mood. He called me the next day, and he realized it was true.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, what a lesson, because I didn't want to say no to anybody.
Yeah.
And you got to say no, because you know what? If you keep saying yes to everybody, they're going to ask for more and more and more.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you've got to get things done on time. And, even with all the little projects that I've been working on, you just have to say to people no, because everyone wants the world. And what you have to realize is you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I've been in that shoe, that as well. My plan was always, and I did a lot of this on reality shows, which are infamous for being unorganized because they don't have a script.
Yeah, I've never done a reality show.
Yeah, so like with that, you're just kind of going with the flow. And what I found often is just having backup upon backup upon backup. Like the last show that I worked on, the last reality show, was a show called Polo. And it was you wouldn't have heard of it. In fact, we were shooting basically a spec pilot.
Okay.
For Bravo. And that almost never happens, but they were like, we're not sure if this is a show, we want to see if we can actually do this. And so when we got up there, I just grabbed, those kiosks where they have like tourist attractions?
Yeah.
I just grabbed brochures for every single one of them and said, okay, what is our... And if I had the Google Maps at the time, I would have done this. It just mapped out, okay, where are their locations? What are their hours? So that at any point we could just do a rapid response and say, okay, we've got this problem here. let's move over here, which is about a mile away.
Okay.
You know, that kind of just extra planning.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do that. So.
Yeah, see, we're lucky here because we have perfect weather.
Yeah.
Think about, I couldn't imagine shooting like East Coast in the middle of winter and then a storm coming in.
Yeah.
Because here everyone just gets upset that it's going to go down to 60 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, but when it goes to blizzard conditions, what do you do?
I mean, I'm very fortunate that I grew up in Connecticut.
Okay, Massachusetts for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I left for California because I didn't want to shoot in snowy weather.
Yeah, I hate the cold weather.
Oh yeah.
You know, if it's 100 degrees, I'm happy. I get cold when it's 50 degrees here.
Yeah.
So, I couldn't imagine that. You know, I don't. I guess I want to try it sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, with the projects. Actually, all the projects I'm attached to right now are all. One of them is a short that takes place in 4 seasons.
Oh, wow.
But that's just kind of set dressing.
Right.
It's about neighbors who take care of each other, you know, elderly, like in their 80s. And it's about how they communicate. And you have them sitting outside in all the weather but winter. So it's set dressing. You don't need snow or anything like that. But it would be interesting to go and do a movie like, you know, during a winter season there and see how they do it.
Yeah. I think the key with that is you just got to have a really good location manager who can arrange like cover sets for every possible day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, I was on a show where the location manager went out to breakfast one morning.
Yeah.
And had forgotten to secure all the parking. And he was out having breakfast.
Yeah.
And no one at set could find a place to park because there was no parking set up.
Wow.
And he probably got fired a few hours later.
Right.
And I think he went out to breakfast because he knew that he had messed up.
Oh my God.
I remember that, getting all these calls from everybody. I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
You know. Yeah. And he got so indignant about it when they fired him. Like, but it was, I think he knew.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that's why so many like low budget films, they have to just be focused around one location that they can control.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, and I read a lot of scripts, and I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Something they'll have, you know, 30 locations, and you know that they're trying to do it for, you know, next to nothing, and it's like, how is this possible? You know, a company move isn't everyone just getting in their car and driving down the road. You know, I on this last movie I was on that was The Disaster, we were shooting in like Santa Monica on a Friday afternoon, and then they had a company move at 5 o'clock to Hollywood.
Right.
And so they wrapped at like 4 o'clock and didn't get to Hollywood until almost 7 o'clock. And it's like, who would have thought, like those are the things you have to think out here. LA traffic is not, you know, I live in Los Feliz, and to come here sometimes to Hollywood, it takes me 30 minutes. So what are you working on? You're still looking to.
Oh, I'm still looking, yeah. But like, I don't want to go back to below the line. Like, I'm only interested in above the line at this point.
Well, that's the thing for me, when COVID hit, and you know, I laugh about the farting story, and it's a great story, and it was a hit when I did it at Strong Words, because I actually mumbled the name of the movie that night, but that's when I decided, what do you want? And I think that a lot of people, you have to say, what is it you want, and what is your big picture?
Right.
And I find that a lot of people don't know that. You know, they don't have their eye on a prize, whatever the prize is.
Right.
A realistic prize. My thing is, I've got these projects that I want to set up. My short film happened. I got a couple of awards. I was thrilled with it.
Yeah.
You know, so now to do my next one, raise funds for that, and I have the feature that I'm setting up. I have a lawyer attached.
Oh, nice.
You know, and plus the director attached.
Okay.
and a cast member from my short film that I want to use. So I know that all my years of coordinating, I can hire below the line in an hour. You know what I mean? Like I have a list of people that I worked with that were just from location people on that, wow, I know if I picked up the phone and called them, at least I could, get them interested. So I think but I had to know enough to say enough is enough. Because if not, you'd just be going from one to the other and then miserable.
Yeah.
And so I decided that wasn't going to happen.
It's funny because there are so many people, like, they didn't get into this industry from film school or anything. They got into it from, like, constructions.
Yeah. I find some of the most fascinating, talented people never went to film school. I don't think it's a prerequisite. I was a business major. I'm really hopeful all the time. You know what I mean? I think you have to be. And you just got to keep pushing on opening your circle of people. I was a speaker at Cal State LA at a film class.
Oh, cool.
A friend of mine is a professor there. Asked me to come in one time. Actually, it was during COVID, so it was a Zoom class. And of the class, one person reached out to me afterwards and wanted to meet in person. And it turns out I was able to hook him up with someone. He just produced this wonderful short film for this wonderful writer, television writer that I know. And they're out now to all the bigger festivals with it. And he was the only one of the class that had the courage to reach out. And I look at it, and what we started talking about at the beginning, it's going full circle. It's the networking thing. Because I kept on saying to them, cliched, but why be outside looking in the window when he can be in the room, kind of thing. And I think that again it comes down to a lot of fear with a lot of people. And this guy, he met in person, we're meeting regularly. He's incredibly talented, and he saw an opportunity. Right. And I was more than willing to help hook him up with people who could help him also.
So let me ask, you're working on shorts now, and you mentioned that you were raising funding. That's my experience too.
Well, we did a GoFundMe campaign for the short film that I did. We raised, it was low budget. I only needed less than $5,000. We raised the money. We raised probably 85% of the money that way. It's that, it's the dreaded F word, funding. Crowdfunding is the thing, or finding a person, someone who invests in you.
Yeah.
I'm having discussions right now about how to do the funding for this new one. Because when you keep going back to the crowdfunding, I don't know, it's a weird thing. Some people do the crowdfunding extremely well. When I did the first one, it just fell into place. Like it all fell into place. So it was almost like I'm blessed in that respect because it just happened.
Right.
We taped a Zoom meeting between me and the director, talking about the project, with the idea that we would take that footage and then build on it. But the meeting went so well that he basically used the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And used that as we used GoFundMe campaign. So it just happened. I didn't think, I don't know if I was being naive or acting naive, but I just didn't think beyond that. And I was like, okay. And he went, okay. And that's how we did it.
Right.
And so I know some people do elaborate elaborate presentations on, I go from the pages very, very simple.
Right.
And it worked for this particular project. So I know that right now a lot of people are doing decks.
Okay.
Decks, yeah.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, I do, but as not an investment deck, but an overview deck of the project, where you talk about the project, the writer's statement, the director's statement, who you have for attached, comparables,
Right.
but you don't put your budget in. You don't, you give a feel for the film and the passion behind it. And for this project that I'm working on with the director attached to the feature, a company that's interested, they saw my deck and then requested the project from me. So then I knew the deck worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, excuse me. It creates to me, a deck just makes you want to read the project.
Right.
And that it shows that the producer or the writer, director, they know what they're talking about.
Right.
I think that's, and I'm part of this pitch group that meets once a month on Zoom based out of New York.
Oh, wow.
And it's fascinating. And if someone's not pitching a project that day, because it's a small group of us, then we go over decks.
Oh.
And it's really interesting because you can be so picky about a deck.
Right.
And the thing is, you look at it, and you say, I like this project. You're not saying, gee, I wonder if they put a little extra graphic here. You know what I mean? I think you can overanalyze.
Yeah.
I think you can overanalyze what you're doing and get stuck in trying to make it perfect.
That's really interesting.
Let me just talk about the business now.
Wow.
And we'll say, does anyone have, and if you have a deck, someone will, share the screen and show their deck. And it's really fascinating. I mean, I met some lovely people. And again, getting back to that beginning of this full circle conversation, my friends that I met at the film festival in Arizona, the ones that said I'm the only brown one in the room, they're the ones who got me into this group.
Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, it comes to networking, and it was really fun. I mean, it's funny how it all just pulled together.
Right.
And I do like this group because I learned something every time.
Right.
And I brought a friend of mine in who's doing a short film, and she presented her deck, and it was just phenomenal.
Oh, I did want to ask about this. You worked on the Alien movie with my friend Sarah Kinga Smith. I don't know if you actually.
I did additional photography on that.
Ah, okay, got it.
And that was probably some of those reshoot additional photography.
Yeah.
I was on one for like 9 weeks.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, it's not always a 2-week thing. As a matter of fact, I left one to go do another movie, and they wanted me to stay on another month.
Wow.
I know it gets really. I probably know your friend, and probably in my address book.
Yeah.
Well, now you're still part of the PGA?
Still in the PZA. I need to go to more events. And I'm doing the side hustle thing now, where like you're juggling like 3 or 4 projects at once. So what's there?
I'm doing that right now, and I kind of like it.
Oh, okay, nice.
I kind of like it. I've thought about. I've got too much happening to let one of the balls drop.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer the universe provides, when you put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I say don't give up, And, but the thing is, if no one knows what you're doing,
Right.
then no one can help you at all.
Yeah.
And some friends of mine, I don't know, like I didn't know what they wanted to do. I thought they were doing one thing, and then all of a sudden I find that no, their goal is this.
Right.
It's like, why didn't you tell me? I could have hired you on my last,
Yeah.
So I think that that's a big issue, that a lot of people, you're afraid to say it. You know, because like I say, I've known you for 9 years.
Yeah.
And I was quite surprised. What was her name? Ashley reached out to me.
Oh, my assistant. Yeah.
You know, I think that's what it's about. And the thing is, what do you do and what do you love doing?
Yeah.
And I didn't love coordinating anymore. I had run its course.
Right.
And all in all, I look back on it with a big grin.
Right.
Because even the disasters were always funny in retrospect, you know. I mean, on my last show at like midnight, my phone rang one night and I had just gone to bed, and you know when you're in that sleep realm where you're not quite asleep, but you're not quite awake. And I roll over, my phone's ringing, and I see it's one of the big bosses that I don't really care for. And I click on my phone and I went, oh, him. And then I shut off my phone because I didn't realize I had clicked on to answer the phone.
Right.
And then when I woke up the next morning, I saw that he had called, and I saw that I had picked, and I was like, oh my God. And that's what I did.
Right.
And when he saw me, he never mentioned it. And then finally I said, were you looking for something? And he just kind of blew the whole thing off. But I know he heard me go, ugh.
He probably just wanted more cocaine or something.
Probably. Oh, I had one who had that issue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was really funny because there's a package being delivered.
Right.
Who's going to go outside and meet the car?
Through the mail or?
No, delivery.
Okay.
I'll never forget this. And so I said, well, I'll send the PA down. And then I got a call saying the driver dropping off is going to be there in like a minute. And I had sent the PA off to do something. So I said, I'll just run down. And I saw this car circling the building. And I said, that's the car that's looking for the girl that I told him already. And I got an envelope.
Right.
You know, it was really, I knew exactly what it was.
Oh my God.
And yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I was, on that topic, I was guest teaching some class at some film school. And somebody made a joke about like, you know, where do you budget, you know, coke and whore money? And I told him like, it's called per diem.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, when you start talking those subjects, you know, again, it's fun when everyone's sitting around talking and they're telling their war stories.
Yeah.
Because some of them are absolutely, you can't believe the story. And then there'll be other people that will verify it, and you're like, oh my God. You gotta love the business you got, you know, for what it is. Absolutely. You really do. It's been a ride.
Yeah.
And it continues to be a ride. And I don't think I'd want it any other way. You know what I mean? It's like, you'd like other projects to take off, you know, but I think as a whole, you sit there and say, my goodness, it was, you know, you do laugh.
Yeah.
You know, and some of my best shows were my favorite shows I've ever worked on were the small ones.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I had the most fun because everyone's there to get it done. On the bigger films, it's a different mindset.
Right.
But I worked on a couple of films that were like $3 million, $2.5, which I consider really low budget. I know that's some people saying, hell, I do things for 200,000. But, and where we would just laugh ourselves silly.
Yeah.
I think you have to just take that attitude on those, that everyone's going to do what everyone's going to do, and you're going to just have fun doing it.
Right.
And there was one particular project, I laughed my way through it. I worked up near 80 hours a week, but and got paid for 40. But in retrospect, I laughed the most.
Yeah.
And I think and I learned a lot. And I'm still friends with a few people from that show. And I think it was because it was so low budget, in our eyes, so low budget, that you couldn't worry when everything went wrong. You know what I mean?
And that is Season 2, Episode 22 of the Producers Lounge podcast. Thank you to my guest, Michael Coscia, for joining us. You can find out more about him by checking out the show notes and visiting our website at greaterandgrander.com. And just for this episode, we're going to have a link to the Greater and Grander article, 10 Ways How to Promote Yourself Without Bragging. You can find that link to our Patreon in the show notes. Our intro and outro music today was Tuyo, instrumental. Our episode still image is by Ricardo Tomas on Greater and Grander. You can stay up to date by following us on social media at the handle Greater Grander, all one word. Make sure to subscribe wherever fine podcasts are found, and also, if you like what we do, share this podcast with a friend group or community who you think will enjoy it. Join us next week for more cocktails and questions, and until then, keep producing dreams.